Ah,
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Sir Chooks.
good evening, Madam. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Chooks.
Good evening, someone. So we'll just give a bit of time for others to join before we kick off.
Okay.
So, Chooks, are you sure you won't start? We're already 13 minutes gone.
Yeah, I'll start shortly. All right. Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday for those that went to church. Hope church was interesting. For those that didn't go, hope your activity which you are involved in was okay. If you can hear me,
Yes,
please
we
let me
can.
know. All right. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to be starting with revision. I'm trying to squeeze in something else. Ah, don't tend to see myself. So we are close to the 40 mark. Give me one moment. All right, it's better now. I couldn't see my face before, so I went to look for my face. Okay, so 1% to the 40 hour to the 40 person uh mark, but I think we can start. So we are going to be starting with revision, and then I might just run through a topic, although I don't know if I will do justice to it if I run through it because of the time, but thought I bad pass. Okay, so somebody unmute and tell me what you learned so far. Don't say everything, just say one or two.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So, what I've learned so far is the what is software testing, the benefits of software testing, principles of
It's okay,
software.
wait. Tabdu. Explain the two you have talked about now.
Okay, so first is software testing, which is a set of activities to discover defects, evaluate the quality of software artifacts. So the software testing involves verification, checking whether the system meets specific requirements. Then benefit of testing, customer satisfaction, reliable products, early defect detection, security. Then we have principles of software testing from the ISTQB. Testing shows the presence of bug and not the absence of defect. Test where our defect clusters together. Early testing saves time. Absence of defect is fallacy, which is never true. That defect is 101% eradicated. So we also went into error. We checked defect. We checked failures and root causes as well. So and I also learned how to write a test case and also write a a bug case or defect report.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, thank you. You have done well. Any other person? Should I start calling names?
Okay.
All
If I
right, go
may,
ahead, Philip. Go ahead, please.
okay. During the course, I've learned that I learned about software testing types, and then during testing, they have a tester has his own plan. Then we have the master plan. That we have two type of testing. Maybe like if a project, we have the master test plan and also the testers plan. Then um, I learned that each product, you must know that each product is must bring in inflow, that is revenue to the product owner. And if it's not bringing, then it's not worth it. Then we should also it should also have a timeline. Each project should have a timeline, as well as software testing also have a timeline when you are going to start, when it's going to end. And you should also choose the tools that you are going to use for the project during the duration of the project. Okay.
Okay, thank you. That's fine. Another person. Any other person? Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. This is Usman Abdurrashid.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So far from day one, I've learned a lot. I learned what software testing is. It is in the whole of it. Then different type of testing. Then I've learned testing techniques. Where you said we have the what's it called, functionality testing, non-functional testing, white box, black box testing. Then I've learned about equivalence partitioning, boundary coverage. Then I learned how to write a test case. Then also yesterday we talked about defects or bug reporting techniques too. Then I've learned about what would I call it? Okay, yeah, how to record your evidence while you are testing a software. That means different types of apps that you can use to record your testing process in order to avoid future conflict between you and your co-workers. And I think, yeah, that's it, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Abdurrahman. Any other person? The newbies. I want to hear from the newbies. I want to hear from the newbies.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good
All
evening.
right. So I've learned a lot. Um I learned about how to write test cases and things I need to check. And also before writing, some of the things that stood out for me was like before writing a test case, right, we should have a particular like ingredients we should follow. The first one is destination, transportation, and also location. So you can't just say okay, maybe probably it means that if you have a particular case to write about, you can't just jump on it to start writing. Like you should have a definition that some you are driving at this thing, transportation, and where exactly you are driving at. That's where we have like the test case. We talk about the defects in it. We talk about how to repro the defects. We also talk about the status and like the evidence of it as well. And we also spoke about severities in cases. Sometimes it can be critical, sometimes it can be just medium, and sometimes it can be high. And in that severity, you explain to us that in a software term, you can say that the severity is like high, but when it comes to your stakeholder, it can be critical. When we're talking about maybe you're trying to transfer from a mobile bank, you actually did an erroneous transfer. In a software term, we can say it that it is high, it's not critical because the mobile app is still working, but you made an error. But when it comes to banking firm, it's critical. So, hello, can anybody hear me?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. We can hear you.
Yes, and also I also understand I also I also understand that there are some requirements as well. I think what from what I jotted down, we have the product requirement, functional requirement, and technical requirement, and the business requirement, and also the users requirements. We need to check all of that too when you want to become like a successful software tester. Yeah, basically those are the things I can put together for now, sir.
Okay, thank you for your revelation. Any other newbie? Obi Benjamin, Charles, okay now, you guys are around. I want to hear from those people that started with zero experience.
Can you hear me?
Partially, yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, so we learned about test levels, the different type of test levels, component testing, component integration, system testing.
Obi, we can't hear you.
Component integration testing, focuses on testing the interface basically and the interactions between components. So it's like little um, partitions of the app itself or whatever it is that we're testing. So it focuses on testing different partitions or different aspects of it before it moves to like the whole general stuff. And then the system testing focuses on the overall behavior and the capabilities of an entire system. So basically, in um, component testing, we're literally testing like different aspects. It could be like maybe we're testing the let's say for like a bank app, we're testing the login, we're testing username and password, we're testing biometrics, we're testing transfer of funds and all of that. But then in system testing, we're basically doing like everything once. We're testing the entire app, and then obviously there's the acceptance testing, which focuses on validation and how ready the app is, and I go to know that most times it's usually like for the users themselves to test. So I don't know. So what's stop island.
Okay, thank you. I want another person that has 0 years experience to tell us what you have learned. Just go ahead and unmute. Just tell us what you have learned all through these 7 days. Abimbala Samson. Abimbala Samson. Are you there?
Hello?
So it looks like Abimbala Samson is not here. Vivian Vincent.
Sorry, please, Sir Chooks, did you call me? I stepped away from the system for a while.
No, not you, the man.
All right, thanks.
No problems. Vivian Vincent, come and tell us what you learned. 7 days. Hello. Vivian Vincent, are you there? Please, if you have 0 years experience, I want to hear from you. I want to be sure that at least you got something that you can build on. That means there's no 0 year experience here. Wow. Ndidi Chibogu. Revelation, you have already spoken, don't worry. Ndidi Chibogu.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. How many years of testing experience do you have?
1+.
1+. Okay, so tell us what you learned differently and what you'll be applying henceforth.
Okay. So for the classes we had, the things that became clearer to me was the practical sessions we had where we had to write test cases. I know someone has already spoke about the 3 ingredients, but then it made more sense to me. What you are writing, you need to be able to test for both the valid, invalid test cases and validate that this system is functions the way it ought to function. So that's one thing that stood out for me, writing of the test cases, doing it practically together. And also I think I learned the default reporting, the ingredients of a default report, the defect ID, the environment, the steps to reproduce, and then you mentioned the importance of taking screenshots, some people call it evidence, so that it can be able to guide the developer or whoever wants to resolve the defect. And also, in case the person wants to play smart, you have an evidence to support the defects that you encountered while testing. So for me, it's going to be something I will make sure I put in practice personally while testing, and to be as detailed as possible. Yes.
That's nice.
So
Thank
I
you.
think those are the few things. Thank you.
That's fine. Do you work with a team or you are solo in your company?
I work with a team.
Okay, that's fine. Abel. Jogo Abel. Abel. Hello, Abel. Hello, Abel. Are you there? Okay, happiness. Happiness. Ozoimena. Happiness Ozoimena. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
We
Yeah.
can hear
Okay.
you. All these people that are on the call but are not on the call. After you come and say they didn't drop attendance sheets. So you guys just log in and you stroll. It is well, oh. You will hear this in the recording. Parkinson, please note the names that have been called without responses. Thank you.
Thank you. Gambo Usman. Gambo Usman.
Good afternoon. I said good afternoon. Good evening.
It's okay. You might just be in Canada, so it's possible.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ogambo.
Yeah.
So Gambo, do you have any years of experience?
Yes.
How
A
many
year
years?
plus.
A year plus. So tell us what you learned and what you'll be applying differently in.
Yeah, so I think what I learned newly that I will be applying is the ingredient for writing test cases. Yeah, so I think I like the way you structure your test case. So and I think I'm going to be implementing that. And also I haven't done requirement traceability metrics before. I also plan on practicing that as well. Yeah, I think I understood some concepts better during these classes. Yeah, that's it from my end.
Okay, thank you. I know Victor Kolawole, come on, pressure us.
Chuks, you see, I know, I think he has like 15 years experience.
Makes
God,
sense.
I
I
beg you.
know.
God, good evening,
I
sir.
know. How many years experience do you have?
Hey, God, I beg. I just maybe let me say two or three, anyone.
Okay, so tell us what you learned differently and what you'll be applying.
Okay, yes. Good evening, everyone. Okay, I learned I learned more tools to use in screen recording, like the one I know of MonoSnap, and the one that you introduced to us differently. It was lovely, and I also learned different things. Actually, I learned 7 principles. I know them, but it's not as if I know them with their meaning, but you break them down so easy for us. And I know the difference between, I used to mix it up sometimes, errors, defects, and failures, When you say errors and when someone says it's a bug, it's a defect, when the developer says, so I learned the difference between how they approach them to, and what other thing? I learned you were even this thing that you taught us to you were saying the boundary testing, and I have learned it before, but I did not understand it. But you when you teach us in the class, and I had to go and watch it, so I now understand it. You talked about severities and priorities. I said that okay, the management and the business owner are the one that takes priority, that is the software tester that determines the severity. So these are the things that I've added to my understanding. What other thing?
Fine, it's fine. At least you did. So you
Thank
didn't
you so
waste your
much.
time in this class, right?
Yes,
You
so
got
yes, so
value.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Sumaya Adenle. Sumaya Adenle. Vivian Vincent, if you're around,
Sir.
be ready to answer me. Go ahead. How many years experience do you have?
Almost 3 years.
Almost what?
3 years. 3 years.
Oh, that's nice. So what did you learn and what would you be applying?
Okay. I think one of the first thing I really learned that is different for me is the different tracking document or bug tracking document. So I get to understand it better and how to use it. So, and the tools that you put us through, especially I think Jamtech something, I can't remember the exact name, that is used for screen recording. So those, those are the things that I've learned differently and I'll be using henceforth.
All right, thank you.
Smile, learn
Rashidat
Jamtech.
Ajidagba. Rashidat Ajidagba. Vivian, if you are ready for me, let me know.
Sorry. My background is a bit noisy, so
Oh,
please.
you manage.
Okay, so yeah, I learned a lot, quite a lot.
How many years
And
experience do you have?
almost 2 years experience.
Okay, go ahead then.
Yeah, okay, so the guide to test cases, the ingredients, like my co-trainees called it. Yeah, that stood out for me. And yeah, it gave a better understanding of how to structure test cases. Then I learned about critical thinking, how to approach testing. As a tester, when when you're given requirements, just don't jump into testing. You think critically so that you'll be able to ask important questions. So yeah, I learned critical thinking. Then I also learned about new tools because the company I work with, I'm used to JamDev. That's what we use for screen recording. So I learned about other tools like screen rec, yeah, and MonoSnap as well. Yeah, I learned a lot. So I can't say
All right,
all of
thank you.
them.
That's fine.
Right,
Zeno
for those
Afeno or Vivian Vincent, are you available?
are you going? Please feel free to unmute your mic and respond.
Mutmaina, you want to speak? Mutmaina,
Hello. Hi. Good evening.
good evening.
Yeah,
Go
can you hear
ahead.
me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
So
How many
I
years
learned how
experience
to
you have?
not up to a year, actually.
Oh, yes, I want to hear you.
Yeah, so I learned how to write proper test cases, and also because I have like a background in software engineering, I think it's just for me to be able to write proper test cases. And I learned that there are different tests you do on software. You have to test for error, defects, and failure, which is new to me. So I learned that I need to put that in consideration when I am testing a software. I also learned okay, so I also learned that it is fine to take screen record when you're testing, and which is going to actually be helpful along the way. And yeah, I think that's what stood out for me during the
Okay.
class. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Deborah Agu. I'm trying to get that your name. Deborah Agumo. Pardon me. Deborah, not Revelation. There's another Deborah in the house.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Go
Agomo.
ahead. Agomo, okay.
Yeah. All right. Good evening, everyone.
How many
So,
years experience do you have?
Yeah, less than one.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I actually learned a lot, and I learned how to write test cases right. Like what we are doing there is different from what I just learned from you. And it's actually really amazing to know new things and also new tools that you introduce. You talk about partitioning. You talked about decision table testing and also matrix, that is requirement traceability. So I was like, wow, I was like, what I learned compared to what, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what I learned before compared to what I just learned now, there is a different big gap. Boundary value analysis, which you taught, and also how to test test cases. That is the ingredients for a test cases. I didn't know about that. We have decision, transportation, and location. I was like, oh, I learned a lot of things, which I know that from now on, going forward, my test and asking questions, that right questions to ask when it's come to when we have a kind of meetings with developers and like product design and manager project management. So now I have a details how to go about asking my questions and get the right answer. Thank you so much for this.
All right, thank you. Bello Oluwatoyin. Bello Oluwatoyin.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Hello, can you hear me, sir? Hello, good evening.
Yes, we can. Go ahead, Tony, we can hear you. Hello. Hello, Tony. You are not speaking at the moment. We can't hear you. Okay, so let's go forward. Derek Chigozaram. Derek. Derek, are you there? Oh, okay. All right. Abel, where did Abel go to? Okay, let's hear from Paul. Paul, are you there? Dari Parkinson. Dari, let's hear from the senior. Dari, can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think that is off. Okay, oh,
Sir?
go ahead. Let's hear what you have for. How long have you been testing?
Zero experience, sir.
Oh, beautiful. So let's hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening once again, everybody.
Good evening.
I learned about software testing, the characteristics of the integrated software system, then the components of integrated software system as well, and then also about the API. Although the API, I couldn't complete the class then, but the little one the little one I learned. It was wonderful. Then also we also talk about the quality assurance. So about the characteristics of integrated software testing, you mentioned about unified user interface, data consistency, then automation.
Hello.
Then,
Let me
sir,
see. How many classes are you joining?
how many classes I what?
How many classes are you joining?
Last week and this week, and I think I started last week. Yes.
Start again.
April.
What you learned in this class? Let me not speak out of what was in my head. So tell me what you learned in this class.
Like I said earlier, I learned about API, software testing, the integration, software system.
I'm not sure it's in this class. Did I teach that?
You did, sir.
No, sir.
Hold on. Because I copied it in different places, different notes.
Okay, you are talking about okay. I think I know where you are. Okay, go ahead.
Then he also talks about test types, that are the categories of testing.
Now I understand where you are coming from. Go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't really expatiate on them too much like that, but it's fine. At least that you could get that shows that you were really paying attention. Go ahead.
Then you mentioned about non-functional testing, the blackboard testing and the whiteboard testing. Then then you mentioned about ingredients for writing test cases. Yes, which is destination, transportation, and location. So that was only what I mentioned for now, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, that's fine. You actually stood out of the crowd, and I like that.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Arúwóráwọn, Faith Runnels. Faith Runnels, Arúwóráwọn. Hello. Faith, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening.
Good evening. Yes, Gloria, I want to do. Go ahead, I'm with you.
Okay, so my takeaway from this class, I actually learned how to write better test cases, and I also learned about more tools I can use for, screen recording, for, test management and, testing tools and all that. So it's kind of enlightening for me, and it broadened my vision actually on testing. So that would be my takeaway from this class.
Okay, thank you, Abiola. 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 Some people are answering on the chat, so it's fine. Abiola. Is Abiola here? Utiwe, let me hear you. I thought I saw Sammy on this call before.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Madam. I greet you.
Good to sir too. So class was really exposing, but few things stood out for me. First was the defects. I know that the one I used to know was where you just write your defect on like Word documents. I've never seen where they really stated out defects on maybe like an Excel sheet, even like really explaining. I think this one that I saw in this training is actually quite better because it's as explanatory as it should be. Then secondly, another I really learned also was test case writing. That I think this is quite personal.
The TV has been checked out by network.
Can you hear me?
Now we can. Go ahead.
Okay, so the second thing I really took out from the training so far was in test case writing. So for me, when I write test case, I just feel like if I feel like I write it as simple as it should be, and I can understand it. So I expect that whoever should pick it up should be able to also understand it. But from practical sessions, I got to understand that it's really not just only about me understanding, even though I'm the tester, that everybody who picks up the test case document should be able to understand it. So how I write my test case should be as simple to understand as possible. That's my take home. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We have 8 minutes more. Ukua Victor.
Yeah, good evening.
Go ahead.
Yes, I have like 6 days experience.
I did get 6 days.
Yes.
6 days experience. Oh wow, this is interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah, so before now, yeah, I've always been hearing of this API, like I didn't know what it meant. So from these classes, I later found out that API integration, later found out that it's like connecting different software systems or applications through application and programming interface. So enable them to share data and exchange information or perform action. And also from your class, I also learned test techniques. You told us that there are different types of test techniques like black box testing, white box testing, and under black box testing, you told us that you can't do black box testing if you don't have the document. And you gave us other things under black box testing like boundary value analysis, state transitioning. And then I also learned how to write a test case. For before now, I didn't even know what test case meant. But at least I know, yeah, if somebody wakes me up tomorrow, I can actually write something. Then you also said something about high level test case and low level test case. So yeah, I know the difference. So yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. Sonmi, I have less than 5 minutes to go. Sonmi Agbola, let me hear from you.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
It has been a very exciting time in the class. I learned quite a couple of things, quite a lot of things, basically. I learned testing concepts. I learned how to write test cases. I learned how to. So I understand the difference between a defect, and a bug practically the same thing. It just depends on the person that you're actually saying that to, right? The developers see it as a bug. We see it as a defect. I know how to write a test plan. I understand the different concept around testing techniques, the kinds of software testing that we have. I understand quite a lot of things in my head right now. I don't know how to put them together. Yeah, I understand that testing is actually inexhaustible. There is always a bug. There must always be a bug. There's no perfect. There's no perfect device, or maybe there's no perfect device, no perfect application, right? I understand also that testers should also think like product managers, not just going to go and test. You must understand the requirements. You must understand just so many things actually. I don't know how to put them together. Then also maybe I should just ask a question. There was something I was actually looking forward to. You taught us about boundary testing and all of those things, and I was looking forward to the fact that you would show us how to apply those things. So I recall that we did boundary analysis. We talked about what part was that? Boundary analysis,
equivalence partitioning, and the rest.
Yes, yeah. So it's more like seeing the application of those terms. So I just would like to see that. Yeah. So that's it basically.
Okay, well done.
Yeah.
I think for those ones we had practical sessions in the class for that, but however, we can have
Yes,
a
I did
one-on-one.
remember, but I'm talking about, yes, okay. I was thinking that if you can apply it to the example that I gave us yesterday, do you understand?
Don't
Is
worry,
that
we'll have a
possible?
one-on-one on that. Chat me on
Okay.
Slack.
All right.
Okay.
No problem.
So this is already time. Adirogba Oluwakemi, have you spoken today? If you are, just say yes. Hello, Oluwakemi. I want to pick my last person. Okay, anybody that wants to speak, 50 seconds. Anybody who wants to speak, 50 seconds.
Good evening, Mr. Chooks.
Thank you, Ogbolua. Go ahead.
So I have zero experience, but I have learned how to write test cases, and also I now have an understanding of what partition is. With your explanation, how you explained that one person is bad amongst a group of people, meaning the rest of the team is bad. So I actually do understand with that explanation, and I have also got to understand that as a tester, I have to be very careful when writing my test cases, because the test cases is not just for me, it's for whoever is on the team, and probably like whoever picks the test case can read and understand even when I'm not present. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you, everybody. So this evening, I will just run through writing a test plan. Writing a test plan, and I'll just take a practical. We have less than 1 hour. Let's see. This is so I'll just run through it, and we'll quickly do if time permits, we write a test plan for a product. So test plan writing. Writing a test plan is critical. Now, remember I told you that you do either a master test plan or a tester's test plan. If you are alone in your company, you do both the master and the testers. So writing a test plan is a critical step in the software testing process. Why it is like that is it guides you on how far you should go. It guides you on the things that are available to you to actually test. It helps you to, it's more like a guide. A test plan is more like a guide. It tells you, okay, are you going to be doing performance test? Are you going to be doing manual test? Are you going to be doing automated test? Are you going to be doing stress test? It helps you know your boundaries. It helps you know, okay, I have 30 hours to test this product. It helps you to plan better your time. It helps you in time management. It helps you in resource management. It helps you in understanding what is critical to the product and to the business. So the first thing you need to know is to understand the product and its requirement. After you gather all your requirements from all the specific all your requirements rather from all the stakeholders, then you now go ahead to be able to now state clearly the goal of your test plan and know where you are going to. You determine the test scope, which I've already explained. You define the overall approach to testing. I'm paraphrasing everything so that we can do one of it, one test plan. Identifying test resources, the test tools you are using, the kind of hardware you'll be using, and a whole lot of things. Another thing is to create a test environment plan, how you are going to set up your the environment you are going to be using. Is it going to be Android, iOS, web, an iPad, a desktop? It helps you to do that. Then timeline. This is my boss's favorite word. If you like, talk everything from up to down. The end is give me timeline. So in your test plan, you should also be able to put that in. It outlines the entry and exit criteria, very, very important. This number 8, all are important, but you see this number 8, it helps you to stay within your confines. This is where it helps you to know that exhaustive testing is impossible. So you learn to stay within the confines of your project. Then you have to know the deliverables from that project. One of the deliverables is your test report, your test case document, your requirement traceability metrics, those deliverables, your test cases or your test scripts. Then it also helps you to plan in case of emergencies. In risk management, it helps you to plan in case of emergencies. Probably the developer decides to resign or the tester is not feeling fine. You put such mitigations in place in your test plan. Then at the end, you review and then you approve and you maintain and update the test plan. This number 12 is quite necessary because of changes. There might be changes within the project. If you are working on Agile, there might also be changes in the middle of the project. So please ensure you update your test plans appropriately. Thank you. So let's write. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's write the test plan. I'm thinking of a product. Test plan. Somebody suggests a product for me that we can use.
Conga.
Conga
Or let's
test plan.
use coin.
Coins.
Yes.
Can we use Jumia, sir? Jumia.
Let's use coin MS microfinance.
He's saying that. Let me hear you again. Who is that?
Philip, let's use coin.
Okay, so we are just writing the test plan. Okay, so we want to write a website, and then it's Conga. Let's use Conga. Oh, let me see if we can use coins. Philip is looking for my leg outside. Okay, we'll use this because I understand it more. All right, so we use Coins Microfinance Bank from our guideline. We understand the product and its requirement, review requirement documentations, understand the purpose, functionality, and the end user's need of the software. So the first thing we are going to be coming out with test plan. Is number one. I don't like this right. Sorry. So the first thing that we're going to be seeing is defining the test plan objectives. State clearly the goal of the test plan. So number one is goal of the project. One of the goals of the project is to have a landing page. Another goal of the project is to ensure users can apply for different types of loans. Another one is users should be able to open an account, do fixed deposit and open an account. So it's plenty. I'll just take a few, right? Then I'll just use this personal. It's plenty, but let's just use this personal. Then users should be able to do coins target savings. The TS is called a target savings account. So this is the goal for our website in your test plan, meaning anything outside this goal is out of scope. Are we there? Hello?
Yes. Right here.
Meaning anything outside this goal is out of the project. What was the number 3? Determine the test scope, specify the features to be tested, login functionality, API endpoints, define features not to be tested. Okay, so we are determining the scope of the project. This one is not in the document I shared. It was whipped up sharp. Determine the scope of the project. No.
So we're going to have this now.
Hey, leave me first. Let's leave me first. Let me finish. So determine the scope of the project, what you can test and what you cannot test. It's deeper than this, but I just want to scratch the surface so we don't stay too long on this. Only valid users should be able to apply for loans. Any user should be able to apply for fixed deposits. Only valid users should be able to open an account, an individual account. So it's plenty, but I'll stay there just to paraphrase what we need. Are you guys understanding?
Yes.
Develop the test strategy. Test strategy, are we doing, which test technique are we using? Manual testing, automated testing? Which of the levels are we testing? Are we testing the APIs? Are we testing the database? Are we testing the UI UX? Whichever one we are doing. So for the purpose of this class, we are going to be using test strategy. So we'll say we are doing manual testing. We'll also be doing API testing. What again can we do? Okay. Performance testing. Then furthermore, we are still under test strategy. What we are going to be doing is five testers on the project. The timeline will be 4 days. 4 days plus 2. Please note this plus 2. Always put an extra day. I remember saying this on during one of the classes. If you know you are going to be using 4 days, please don't say it's 4 days. Add a few more days for in case of miscellaneous. So I'll stop at that. Testing resources. Testing resources. What would we need? We need Postman. We need JMeter. We need a defect reporting tool. Let's say Jira. We need a test management tool. Let's say TestRail. What again do you think we need? Testing resources. Yeah. But you get the point, right?
Yes.
Then now you create a test environment. For this test environment, since we are online, since on the web, so number 1 is web, number 2 is tablet, number 3 is responsiveness. Yes. This one simply means when you do it like this, you should also be able to work with it. And then you can pick the different devices you want to use, and then it still works perfectly. That's just responsiveness. That's mobile response. You can add your own, whatever. So that's fine. What else? What else? Test environment. There's any other thing you can add to it. Under this test environment, if you want it to work on any type of browser, you can also put browser types because of cross-functional testing. Browser types, you can say it should work on only Chrome, it should not work on Firefox and the likes, but that's just a test environment. The next thing would be test schedule. Okay, I think I've done that. I've done that before, but let's just do it here again. Under test schedule, we'll say 2 days. We have only 4 days. Test schedule, 1 day. Test analysis. 1 day. Test case writing and implementation. 3rd day, 1 day. 1 day. Test execution and in quotes defect reporting and fixing. What again? Test 1 day. Sign off and document handover. I'm just giving things that come to my head. Outline entry and exit criteria. I'll call it EE criteria, just for the purpose of this class. Must have a laptop or an internet-enabled device. Must have internet. No, don't use must have internet. Must have a browser. So at this point now, you people can help me out here. I want to know if you are still together or I'm on my own.
Must have data.
Must have data. Okay. What again?
Test case should be ready.
Come again?
Power source.
Power source. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Okay, what again?
Access to URL.
Access to URL. What again?
Let's say testing tool.
Testing
tools.
Testing tools. Entry and exit criteria. Collections is for API. So, but yeah, you get the concept. When you get to your place, you can, your test deliverables. Number 1, your test case document, your RTM, your test reports, test progress reports, your defects reports. What again? If your API test reports, and it continues like that. Okay, so here risk management. Somebody want to say something?
No.
Okay. So for risk management, here is where we put in measures. So if a stakeholder is unavailable, what do? We should have a backup for better understanding and decision making. If a colleague, if a tester is out, we should be able to outsource or re-strategize or distribute the in-house resources. So what we are doing here is mitigating for a risk, no matter what. If our laptop, if the website crashes, if the website we are building crashes, what should we do, etc., etc., like that. I hope we are getting the concept. I'm only putting down the concept. It works differently for different people. Then I think the last but not the least, review and then approve. So once you're done like this, you now check from the beginning again. The last thing I would do is maintenance schedule. Check every 3 months, check every 2 weeks, check every 2 weeks, updates immediately after each change, immediately after each change or updates, etc., etc., etc. Any question? Any question?
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, my question is based on probably risk management. Maybe there's actually an issue. The particular tester that is working on a particular project, something came up, is unable to attend to his cases and the likes, and you have access to the person's work. And I'm linking it to what you've taught us before that, okay, as a tester, even if you are not there, you shouldn't use ambiguous words that it's only you that will understand. You should make your words simple as it can ever be. What if it happens that maybe when you got the person's test case and the likes, it's ambiguous, like you can't really understand? Is it that you are going to modify it to your own understanding, or you are going to start from the beginning? I really want to get to that part before I ask my next question.
Okay, so if I'm the one who, I will rewrite it, because amendment work is worse than new work. And why I would rewrite is I will even have a better understanding of the product.
Of the product. Okay. Okay. All right. So, and you also said maintenance schedule. I do not really understand. Is it that you want to like check later if what you've written before, like what you've tested on that particular product, still valid, or you want to check if you can still see other okay, if you can still see other errors? And that's my question A for this one. My question B for this question is that, okay, what happens in a case whereby probably as a tester, I've tested the products, I found the defects and everything, and okay, I can see that these ones are working well, and I'm at the verge of submitting. So during my maintenance, in no time, maybe like I just have like just 1 day or some hours left, I found out that there's a particular defect that I need to like rewrite again, that like has really affected my first work. How are we going to get that sorted? Do you understand my question?
So let me try and see if I got your question. So you have finished testing. Now you go towards the maintenance part, right?
Yeah.
And then you find out that something is wrong with what you have tested.
Yes.
So what do you do?
Yes.
Number
I do
one,
have
check
this time.
what the defect, is it a critical one? Check the severity.
Okay.
That's one. Number two, report to the product owner or the project manager.
Okay.
Because as testers, we don't have the final say. Although in some companies, testers have the final say. Do you get? But report to the project manager, right? That this is what you have seen while you were carrying out your maintenance checks, right? But the idea in the test plan is on how to update your test plan. Peradventure, you had 4 days in your test plan and then somebody got sick and 4 days will not be enough anymore. You need to go and increase it.
Okay. So that means if your boss, like the owner of the product, should give a particular time frame, right? Maybe like 4 days, and you can foresee it that I can't meet up in 4 days. It is allowed to ask for extra days.
After it's allowed,
No.
but
Okay.
it's allowed, right? But don't use it as an excuse for laxity. Some people will tell you that, okay, I will give you an example. You see these coins websites that I just brought up, right? I told them we were going to test it in 7 days.
Okay.
Because I did not have an in-depth view to it. I just came in and then they said, yeah, we need this thing to be live in the next 7 days. I said, okay, no problems. But when I touched it, 1 month, we're still testing
it. Hey.
And as you see it like this, I'm still testing it. Because there are some things that from years of experience, I was like, no.
Deep.
As in, I cannot even explain. But it's live now. It's live now, but we know ourselves. Let me leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. That's my question for now. I can still ask other ones before the end of the class if needed.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Meladele Sekina, what's the process for signing off or handing over? One of the processes is to ensure you meet your exit criteria. Once the exit criteria is met, or if it is not met, let me put this as a caveat. If it is not met, but due to what the stakeholders are seeing, they said it can fly, then you bring out a test progress report. Your test progress report is another safety for you, whereby all stakeholders sign off the document. I will stress this again. Your test progress report or your final test report should have the signature of stakeholders in the product. So your process is number one, ensure you meet exit criteria. Number two, ensure you have good test coverage. Then number three, ensure that stakeholders sign off your test report. Then you now do a handover to the business for the project to go live. Oladile, are you good?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. But again, you can also ask, how is it done in the company? Right? You can also ask, how is it done here? If you now see that it doesn't save you or save the company, then you can implement yours. Don't run and start changing what is working. Just calm down before you shoot yourself in the leg. If it's working, then follow it. If it's not working, then please wisely apply a new process. People are the adamant to change, so you must know how to bring up such things. Remember, we are not fighters, we are professionals. Any other question?
Yes. Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Go ahead, Hakeem.
Yes, sir. Most companies, they are at the haste of a product going to life
They are what?
without they are the haste of a product going to life without looking at the implication that will cause the company or the customer that is using that application from their end. Now, when it got to the point of the end user test, from the ones that we've tested so far, majorly the product owner, because they are the one in charge of the product, they are the haste of the product going to live. Most time when the user are testing, when we are testing, I've tested from end user, but before a product goes to live, like the Finacuten application and the One Castle application. Now, they won't look at what they have to for us to sign off. Once we sign off, it is the end user that always suffer it. This one we are using now, we have to go and bring the person that built the application, the India guy, again back to come and work on the application. Now, once there is a change, once they change something, another thing occurs. Once they change something, another thing occurs. I don't know if they don't have much testers, or they just overload the testers available with a lot of work to do. I need enlightenment on that.
If I'm getting you correctly, what should you do when the tester is overloaded, or when the business wants to go live, neglecting the bottlenecks the tester is talking about?
Yes, sir. Correct, sir. Correct, sir.
So, as I said, these websites, they gave me 7 days and we tested it for 1 month. You see, when I was teaching boundary value analysis, the 14.00000002, it was enough evidence for them to calm down. So how to deal with it is evidence. Bring out your evidences. You want to go live, screen record and play it to the stakeholders. Number 1, 14.000002. We will be paying excess money. Number 2, when CBN comes to audit us, they will say we are doing fraud. Number 3, bam. When you explain it like this, if you are the owner of the business, will you still go like?
No, sir.
So,
no, sir.
The issue is, most times we don't know how to present our case. Most times. That's why they neglect us. If you are able to present your case very well, you are a terror to them. Not like a terror, but you are like a check, which is what we do. When you use a PowerPoint presentation, if possible, just sit down, take your time, put it down. Okay, Finaco, they play. It's all right. So for that case, just do a video representation of all the things you see that are stop gaps. However, you must notice that there's something called a must-have and a nice-to-have. I will repeat that. There's something called must-have and a nice-to-have. A nice-to-have should not be a bottleneck. What should be your bottleneck is a must-have. Example, you are supposed to send money from point A to point B. and there's supposed to be VAT charged. And on this VAT, it's supposed to be shared in between three companies. But when you now test it, you now find out that the whole VAT is going to only one person. So that is a must-have. It is not a nice to have. It is a must-have. On that ground, put your feet on the ground and say you are not going. You are not giving the go-ahead for this to go live. If they say they want it to go live, pick pen and paper and say, "Oh, guys, sign." If they are saying, don't even budge, stay there and say, "I'm not against it, just sign." Once they can sign, allow them to. They will come back and come and tell you that, Baba, you say, but you already know that you have saved yourself. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, thank you, Revelation. Okay. Can you please share a step-by-step means of writing a test progress report and a test final report? So there are different ones for different companies. I can show you the one I used when I was in FCMB. I can show you the one I used when I was in Paga. I can show you the one I'm using where I am presently. They are all different, right? You can go online. Let me see if I can get a few test progress reports. You can go online to learn about them, and then you pattern it according to. Sorry, 1 minute. Test progress. I'm trying to search for fluency. Okay, so I'll just share a few. No, this one is no one. Okay, let me just share what I have here. No, let me look for the latest one. So I'll just show you the three different ones. Anyways. Okay, so I'll just show you this. I will show you three different ones from three different places. So this is one, right? Serial number, procedure test, expected and actual results, statement, pass or fail, and then each functionality is explained. The most critical of test cases are written, what you experienced, pass or fail, and comments. This is one, right? So this is it. Sign off. Name, business area, the signature of the person, the date, and any general remark. That's one. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Get back.
That's one.
Yes.
Then this on that one. Prepared by project name, reference, requester department. So you can tailor it when it started to when it ended. This was 20 days. The platform you were testing on, the day you gave the report, the objective of the report, the places you checked, status or comments, and then at the end, sign off the QA officer is 27/11/2023, the developer, the business owner. That's another one. Then this last one is not too complete. It just has the beginning, product, the environment, total number of test cases identified, creation dates, review dates. Let me close something. Those that have, I should not see that thing. The test cases, the screenshots. Some people request for screenshots, status, observation, and comments. And there are different types of test reports. Any further questions? Any further questions? Any further question? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. In midst
Yes,
of
sir.
no further questions, I want to say thank you for attending this class and thank you for taking out the time to want to upgrade. Personal development is one of the best things in life. It keeps you at the cutting edge and it keeps you growing. You understand? All right, thank you, NST. It's been a pleasure on these 8 days and giving back to the community. Udeme.
Guys, I expected more. Won't you guys give clap, no reaction, unmute and thank Sir Chuks. He has given
Chuks, I will miss you. Thank you so much.
Oh,
he
today
has
is the last
given
day.
8 days
You don't know.
to you guys. You will know the people that don't used
So
to
much,
read
sir.
read
Thank
class.
you,
Thank you
sir.
so much, sir.
Thank
Someone is
you.
still
Yes,
asking
you're
for
real
for the
good.
last day.
You actually make me fall in love with
Thank you so
with
much.
But
test
Chooks, we
so much.
appreciate. Please do not go stay in the background so we can reach out to you.
Please, we want to be
Stay in
seeing
the
you once in a
background.
while. Please, Mr. Chooks.
I'm
Yes.
always available. Always available in
Mr.
quote.
Chuks, when is your birthday?
October
Always
25th.
available, but is it for
Mr.
It
Chuks,
depends.
Mr. Chuks is a member of ANST, just like you
Yeah.
all. He's
Oh,
on the
wow.
Slack channel, so you can reach out to him. But it's great to see our emojis. Please throw your emojis. Thank him. He has selflessly given 8 days of his time. 2 hours, 8 days. That's 16 hours for
Wow.
free. The best way you can do that is to appreciate him. So let's do that. Let's bombard him with our appreciation. Thank you so much, Trooks. Thanks for
Thank you.
selflessness, and thank you for giving back in this huge way. I'm sure all 60 something students that have been active all through the class are tremendously grateful. We are very grateful. Thank you so much.
Mr. Chooks, don't forget me.
I don't
I'm
understand.
becoming an NST group. I'm here. Just say hi.
The next
help us to beat Mbappe.
bug report I'm going to write to them. They will ask me how far. Something has happened. Where did you go to?
That's
That's the
the
idea.
testimony.
That's
Thank
the
you so
idea.
much. Thank you so much. Jokes. Thanks everyone. I will provide extra information as we go, but at the end of all 4 parts of the FST, you're going to sit for an exam. The exam will comprise of practicals on everything you have written. Please, for those that are new, go and learn the terminologies. I keep hammering on this. I don't want ANST graduates of this training to be saying it's something like I think is like a bird that flies. Use the terms that are in this career path you have picked. Know the terminologies and apply them appropriately. Be confident when you are answering questions. That one is going to be towards the end of the entire training program where you would have mock interviews. But we need to be sure we are churning out people that have learned good quality stuff, right? So please do well to go over the recordings. I check the number of views in those videos, and sometimes I see 4, I see 6, and I'm wondering, is either you guys have a magnetic brain that you don't need to go over the video to recap or relearn, or maybe something else. So please go back, rewatch, know the terms, do your research. Like I said in the first few classes, quality assurance is not a copy, cram and download. You don't copy and paste. You need to be able to know how to do your research, right? So one of the questions that was asked as to when you have a buggy application and your management does not listen to you or give you priority, I have a whole, we can have an entire webinar on that. You need to be able to earn that value. It's a value, is a reputation that QAs that have it now, QAs that have stakeholders that listen to them, like Chuk say, is depends on how you communicate it. So that one is something that we would discuss much later in the training, hopefully in a webinar. But there's a way to earn value and earn the confidence and trust of your stakeholders. And it starts from you. Yes, please, I'm coming. It starts from you doing the research, showing that you have the knowledge, showing that you would go the lengths to prove a risk is a risk. For example, he mentioned doing a video. I would say you would do it. And he also mentioned doing a presentation. You shoot a presentation. You need to understand that your stakeholders, the CEO wants to make profits. The product manager wants to build a fast application that will end up making profits. If everybody has what they are looking for, the one that concerns them in that development team, write a presentation showing them how, if these 5 bugs, critical bugs, move to production, write a list of the risk and the implications that these things will have when they hit the market. When you are telling somebody that likes money that if you proceed to go ahead and ship this product, you will lose 1 billion naira in the next 6 months, the guy will not ship that product. The CEO will not ship it. Trust me. If you tell your product manager that, sure, I can allow, instead of spending 3 months on this product and you want to spend 1 month, fine. If you insist, go ahead. Just know that at the end of the day, by the time you are hitting a peak period, your system will crash. Nobody wants to be a product owner for a system that when there was Black Friday, it crashed and it took them 3 days to come back up. If your system crashes, you will not make any sale. You will not make any profits. You will not sleep because your entire team will be on code red. Everybody will report to the office. So once you highlight all these risks, you cite examples of other, yes, I'm coming, please. I'm coming. You cite examples of 3 other people that did the same thing, how they had economic loss, how their customers churned and went to the competition. Trust me, at the end of your presentation, and it should come well packaged, meaning you will do your research, right? You will list it out in a very presentable PowerPoint presentation. You will send an email requesting, title the email well, email on risk of XYZ application being deployed. Something like that. Just type it well. Get all stakeholders to the room. Make your presentation as clear and concise. It can be 3 slides. First slide showing the problem, second slide showing the risk, third slide showing your solution. Always come into a conversation with a solution. Don't come and be the one that is always lamenting, everybody's lazy. What should we do? Come with a solution to your meetings. That's where you will earn the trust. The next time something's about to go live, your CEO will call you and ask, have you tested it? If you're not the tester for that product, they'll begin to integrate you into those products because you have earned their trust, right? So just know, for those that are new in this profession, QA is not a lazy man's job. You will do the research. You will do the market analysis. You would learn to be an excellent communicator. That is how you will earn the respect of your stakeholders up to C-level, up to your CEOs, your CTOs. That's how you become a high demand employee in your organization. So that's just to answer that last question that I overheard, right? So guys, there's a lot of work to do, and there's nothing that is a limitation for you, but just be ready to put in the work. Okay, that's enough for my TED talk. Thank you guys. Thanks again, Sir Chooks. We're very grateful. He's available on the channel if you have any further questions. And we'll see from tomorrow, I think. Further information will be dropped in the channel. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Thank you, Deme, for always being there. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Chooks. Good
I'll
night.
miss you.
Thank
Chairman,
you,
thank you.
guys.
Mr. Chooks, thank you. God bless you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you, Mr. Chooks. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Richard Akintunde, there's no recording that is outstanding, no.
Okay, the meeting is
Right.
there. We only have 6.
We have 6.
Chairman, we didn't get the one for yesterday.
Are you serious? I didn't drop it. Okay, I'll drop
No.
that now. I'm so sorry. I'll drop that now.
Please, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
But we'll have the one for today, right?
Yes, it takes a while
Maybe tomorrow.
for the
Okay.
videos to compile. So you get that of today either by tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay. Thank you,
All
sir.
right. All right. Good night.
Well done.